Hey
Hey
guys,
guys,
Alan Johnson with the AJT.
and it's Crystal Johnson here with the AJ team. And today we're going to talk to you a little bit about
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
your part.
We're starting. Do you really need an agent to buy a new construction home?
Hey,
So, what do you guys think? Do you think you really need an agent to buy a new construction home? I want to hear about it in the comments, but I want to ask you. You bought a new because we're sitting in a new construction
we
home
are.
right now. Did you have an agent when you bought one?
Absolutely. I had an agent.
Okay.
My agent was Alan Johnson here, and he was amazing. And of course, I was also an agent, so that kind of helped a lot. But my answer to that question is yes, right? Yes, you need an agent when you buy a new construction home, and there's a couple of reasons why. So the first thing is first, could you go out and buy new construction and not use an agent? Of course you can. There's nothing wrong with you going out and having a conversation with the sales agent and them showing you all the options that you have and you writing up a contract, except you have no representation, right? So you could do all those things. Nothing can stop you from doing those things, but smart buyers understand that they need representation. So that's first and foremost. The sales rep is representing the builder. And that's not me saying that they're not conscientious or they're having some type of nefarious tendencies or they're not trying to be fair or honest. What I am telling you though is that they have a job to do, and their job is to make sure that they make their employer money. So they have to represent their employer's best interests. And so you also need someone representing your best interests. That's first and foremost. But secondarily, if you don't have representation, who's there to help you cover your blind spots, right? Anytime we're out there and we're doing something for the first time, or maybe the second time, you're working with a different builder than you had the first time you purchased a home. There's just so many unknowns, right? And when you have those blind spots, you need someone there to point them out for you. Like you don't know what you don't know. I know I personally don't know what I don't know. So when I show up in an environment where that is not my day to day, I always like to have some type of advice, right? I go to Google, I talk to a friend who's been there and done that, or I go seek the professional to give me the guidance that I need, right? So you need someone to help you with your blind spots.
Yeah, I think there's a difference between someone who's working with you and someone who's working for you,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And not all sales agents or sales managers or building superintendents or building managers, none of them are working for you.
No.
They work for the builder,
Mhm.
right? And anything that pops up that is an issue, they are going to either toe the company line,
Mhm.
right? Or they're going to slant their reactions towards what the person who pays them.
And honestly, I think that's what you would do as well if you were in their position, right? And in their shoes. So it kind of behooves you to not even put yourself in a situation where they would have to, of course, go towards their employer best interest versus yours, right? The other thing that I would say about why you need an agent when you're buying new construction is it's not even always about negotiating the terms of the contract, helping you understand the contract. All those things are super important, helping you get to the best incentives and make sure that there are terms that align with what you want to see as the outcome. Those are all very important. But the number one thing is after that contract is written. The biggest challenges that we faced, right, when we went through this process of buying and building our new home, right, had nothing to do with the sales office and writing the contract. It had everything to do with, is the contract being fulfilled in the way that it's written? And those are the challenges that we had to work through, right? There were concerns with, we come to do our free drywall inspection, and the ceiling that we paid for, that call for ceiling, is not up there, right? Would the lay person know that that's missing when all you're looking at is wood beams, right? Or you come in there and you see this random plumbing in the floor and it's like, I didn't buy whatever you have right there, right? You need to be able to, number one, have the foresight to see it, but number two, to be prepared to work through it. We had some other challenges, throughout our build process, that for us as professionals, we could work through them. But for the standard consumer who doesn't experience these things, who don't see these things, you truly need someone to be in your corner. Because I'm not sure about many of you, but I got to go to work every day. And typically, when you're building a new house, you're at work every day. You don't even have the time to follow up with these challenges or concerns or things that you may have. So you need someone who's fighting for you. So you can focus on the thing that you need to do, which is stay gainfully employed to even buy the house, right?
Yeah, there were a couple of instances where I'm glad that we had the flexibility to be here during the day.
Yeah.
Because remember, these builders, they only work during work hours.
Yeah.
So when you get off at 6, they're not here to meet with you. Doors are locked. If you walk into the property, you basically written into the contract that you're not allowed to walk into the property during specific times that they're not off. So you really need someone to be able to represent you during those times. And honestly, the more expensive the house, the more you need representation.
The more you need representation.
Right. And then even first-time home buyers, what I found is that their expectations of what the builders are going to do are not in line with the reality because they've never gone through it.
Yeah.
Not only do they have the nervousness of buying a first home, but now they're going through the processes of building a home, and they need to know that they're not tripping.
Yeah.
Right. They need to know that, like, am I asking for, is this real? Is this the way? Is this, how do I, like, all of those things? Challenges, I've always said challenges, when you're going through challenges, they're easier to go through them together. And it's way easier when you go through them together with someone who's been through that before.
Yeah.
And if you haven't been through it, not just a home, but like the type of home, like even here, like what we found was the building superintendent had never built this type of home before.
Yeah.
So he was having challenges, not about just building, but building this scale of home that was evident.
Yeah. Yeah. And if we weren't able to be here, if we didn't have ourselves as representation, right, we wouldn't have been able to catch some of those challenges that even he didn't catch because he just wasn't familiar, right? And again, that's not to say that he wasn't capable. What we're saying is that representation matters, because if you have someone there, they can help you catch those challenges, right? And the other thing I'll say that, a lot of, consumers, we make a lot of assumptions about what a new home builder does, right? And we don't even understand that for the most part, they subcontract out 100% of the build, right? So you're talking about, your relationship with the builder or the builder's representative or the site supervisor, right, is one thing, but their relationship with all their contractors is a whole nother thing. And sometimes mistakes happen because, number one, they're not even the ones doing the work directly. It is someone else. So we have to understand all those dynamics to make sure that everything goes the way that we expect.
So anything else about does someone need representation when they're purchasing a new home?
My last takeaway is just, again, it's all about the after. So even after you get to closing, right? And you've gone through closing, there are still a ton of things that are happening. And I'll be honest with you, once you sign your paperwork with the builder and you go to closing, they're on to building the next house, right? They have so much in their production schedule that they're not as concerned with the challenge that you're having because you already closed. That is when your agent becomes even more valuable, right? We've built relationships, number one, with these new home communities and these builders for them to understand exactly what our expectations are and that we'll work together collaboratively to get some issues resolved. On top of that, we'll have the ability to tell you what things need to be corrected so that way you know exactly how to demand that those things are taken care of, right? We had a few neighbors here, right, who did not have representation. And there were some challenges with the property, from some settlement issues with their foundation to just having some HVAC concerns and things of that nature. And they didn't know what to do next once they just made this statement to the building site supervisor, like, no one's taking care of it, right? And it wasn't because they couldn't get it taken care of, they didn't know what to do next, right? And that's where your professional representation really comes in, right? You're not stuck trying to figure it all out on your own. You have someone who is fighting for you to get you to the result that you need.
Yeah, solving problems is very nuanced, right? And, I think people underestimate how many problems great real estate agents solve every day.
Yeah.
Like it's a muscle that's built. Like, and if you're not used to solving real estate problems, it can become very stressful. It can become very costly, and it can just become a lot harder than it needs to be. So, you just don't need an expert until you need an expert.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the problem. Like by the time you really like you were like, I can do this on my own, or I don't see the value. And when that problem comes, it's too late.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Our neighbors are lucky that we neighbors and we cool.
Yeah.
Right.
I've had to fight a lot of battles for them.
Right. But seriously, guys, like you are making a big investment. You got us as a resource. Don't try to go out there on your own. Right. The builder like compensates your agents to help you make sure that you use it. And here's the tip as well. They're not going to give you a discount on the fees because you go on your own.
They are not.
Right? That's not how it works, right?
No.
That is profit for them. So you might as well use it. And then there's some nuances, just some things that we know about negotiating, especially in a market that's very different. Because remember, in a upward going market, there was no negotiations.
Not necessary.
But now it's very nuanced, guys. So
yeah. And then I just have one last takeaway. Here's the thing. Good quality builders, they want you to have representation. And the reason why they want you to have representation is because they understand that there needs to be at least some type of an arm's length distance between the consumer and them on the representation, because they don't want there to be any conflicts or issues. They want to be able to say, hey, we suggested, we supported, we wanted you to have representation. Either you chose to do it or you chose not to. And hey, we're going to just put our hands up, right? So quality builders, they appreciate you having representation. They want you to have representation because that also gives them an opportunity to kind of CYA, right? Like, hey, you have someone on your end fighting for you. And that way you can't say that I misled you, misguided you to the interests of the builder, right? So just keep that in mind.
Guys, negotiating with an emotional home buyer is like negotiating with an emotional 14-year-old.
Yes.
Like you need someone in between. Like when things are going sideways, my 14-year-old, I need someone in the middle.
It's always me. I didn't want to be in the middle.
I need someone in the middle to be able to run that. But guys, look, seriously, we're here to help. And we would love to help you guys transition up, transition down. If you know anyone who is interested in buying a new home, before you go to the sales rep, call us.
Yeah.
Because we likely have a relationship with them. We have some inside knowledge that can help you. Okay.
All right. That's all we got for you today.
You want to do the outro?
Of course. So if you need anything, definitely reach out to the AJ team. We'll be more than happy to help you. If you have the dream, we have
the address. That's not even it.
What?
See, I gave her one job to do it.
Hey,
so we won't.
I got a lot of jobs.
Let me say, you have the dream.
We have the address. See, it was just a little flip flop. Give a girl a break. Talk to you soon. Take care.
Peace, guys.